Hey guys, it's me, Alec Dalton over here. We are talking about basketball, baby, our favorite sport in the world. And today we're going to talk about the biggest surprise in the lottery, just in terms of what we didn't think was going to happen. And then who will the Magic pick at number one? Our boy Dalton here is a diehard Magic fan, so that is amazing for him to have this payoff. Do they end up making the Minnehaha connection? Obviously, both me and Dalton are also from Minnesota, so this is kind of a weird juxtaposition we're in. We're in the same boat as Chet Holmgren, except for we're not actually playing and moving to Orlando, but otherwise we're like the same. Outside of that, we're also going to predict which one of those bottom 10 teams, so beyond the lottery, who's the bottom 10, which one of those is going to make the playoffs next year, because we saw the Cavaliers almost do it this season. There's certainly a possibility. The Minnesota Timberwolves took a huge leap as well. So I certainly think there's a team out there, and we'll discuss it. Lastly, we'll also talk about rumors of possibly the Bucks getting Damian Lillard this offseason. And I think that's it that we're talking about today, right, Dalton?
Yep, that's it.
All right, man. Well, let's start out. We're going to talk about the biggest surprise of the NBA lottery. If you guys didn't tune into that one, it was the Magic getting the number one pick. The Oklahoma City Thunder, after years of tanking, get their highest pick in years at number 2. Houston Rockets are at 3. Sacramento Kings at 4. And Detroit Pistons at 5. Indiana Pacers at 6. Trailblazers at 7. Pelicans get 8. 9 is the Spurs. 10 Wizards. 11 Knicks. 12 Thunder. 13 Hornets. 14 Cavaliers. So I mean, for me right away, just really happy for the Magic. But what do you think is the most surprising part of the lottery that came out?
You know, there's certainly some surprises that came out of this lottery. I think the dead takeaway is the Kings at 4. I think that's going to be great for them. I think they're super lucky, and I think whether they want to. So I think it just comes down to two questions with them: is do they make the draft pick? Is there someone around that area, which is like Keegan Murray, you can expect, or you can get if they want to find another guard or wing. We'll see, but I personally really like Mitchell for them. I think he could be their 2 guard of the future.
They would be. There's no way they're taking guard. They would be biggest asses ever. There's no way.
Yeah. Or there's also Jalen Duran if they want to move away from Sabonis being center.
Yeah.
However, I think what's more likely is they attach it to Harrison Barnes and they go out and get somebody like Julius Randle, maybe Tobias Harris or Colin Sexton.
Yeah. I think that makes a ton of sense. I mean, this Kings team did not tank this past season. We saw that they tried to get better, getting Sabonis. They were trying to just get the 10 seed if they could have. Mm-hmm. And they get rewarded. They end up with the 4th pick. And I think they continue to want to stay within their core. You add another young guy. Is it going to make sense? Are you going to be able to give him the minutes? Like the Kings, I'm sorry to say, have been horrible at drafting for years. So can you trust yourselves that you're going to make the right pick? And I guess, it's always a new regime in there. So they always think, I can fix it this time. So they always make aggressive moves. But I don't know, man. If I was the Kings, I would definitely trade that pick because you could probably get somebody solid. No,
yeah, definitely. And especially maybe them drafting leaves a bad taste in the mouth for Kings fans. I mean, Mitchell's worked out.
They made good picks recently, I will say that. So maybe they're onto something lately.
They made like one good pick recently because Marvin Bagley was two.
Well, Halliburton was a great pick.
That's right. Halliburton was right after. Halliburton and Mitchell were
De'Aaron Fox. Pretty solid pick. I mean, he was 4th, I think, overall, maybe 5th overall in his draft. Right. So,
but they'll never live off the draft. Yeah, they'll never live off or get away from not drafting Luka Doncic. That was probably one of the biggest. Or Trae Young.
Absolutely,
either one we could have.
Yeah, not drafting Luka was obviously terrible, just because. I mean, he was the obvious pick. Everybody thought. Instead, they big brained themselves into taking Marvin Bagley. So,
which is the worst of the him or Jaren. At least Jaren Jackson just was the second major part, second.
Yeah,
or
I mean,
third
if they
major
took
part that they
Jaren
went through.
Jackson, they wouldn't be getting shit.
Yeah, some justified, but Bagley was a complete bust.
Yeah, I mean,
I would say
he's been terrible. I mean,
Yeah.
he's at least, now that he's on the Pistons, he's shown some value there, but it's more as like a rotational big. I mean, I don't know if he's ever going to be like I don't know if he's ever going to be like a great starter. Like, we'll see. I'm going to need to see it to believe it.
Right. But I mean, I think personally that Julius Randle, within the right system next to Sabonis, for defense wise, would be great. I think he would certainly be a secondary playmaker off of.
Yeah, and he obviously
De'Aaron
wants
Fox.
to leave. He's not happy with his situation, so I think he would be very motivated once you get him over there, and him and Sabonis could play off each other pretty well. I think they're both athletic enough.
I think I see him matching more the attitude of De'Aaron Fox, like a dog. De'Aaron Fox is an
They'd have three
offensive
lefties
dog.
in their starting lineup.
That'd be pretty weird to watch. It's like watching a TV show in a mirror. But yeah, I'd be excited for that. That's what I'm most excited about. I doubt Tobias Harris is going anywhere. I don't think Colin Sexton would be the right choice.
I want to see the Kings be good so bad, you know.
Oh yeah, me too. Like honestly, at this point, like I'm like, come on, guys, just like they are, and will always be for the next like 10 years be the underdogs in any matchup they have, just because of the record. And
everybody just needs to see it to believe it. But yeah, I heard you say Colin Sexton's maybe not the best fit. I think maybe not a terrible choice if they strike out on some other options, because he's different than Halliburton was, where he's just a scorer, right? For the most part. So I think when you bring Sexton in, maybe it can open up some things for some other guys, and he doesn't need to pass as much. But I don't know does that make sense? Maybe they invest more at like a great 3.
Yeah, you're right. When it comes down to Sexton, I more or less put him against. You're giving up some good defense and veteran presence of Harrison Barnes for Colin Sexton, who you don't get perimeter defending for. Granted, he's a decent shooter, and people forget about that. And he is a bucket, but is that what they need?
Do need to have good defense. That's true. You can't sacrifice that.
Yeah, and Julius Randle has proven that he can play good defense in a right defensive system with Thibodeau last year, not this last year. This last year was a disaster, but the year before,
the first year Thibodeau, guys play well. Second year, they realize, he's not gonna stop playing me 40 minutes a game. I hate this guy. Then they start sour.
Exactly. But did you see any other surprises in this draft lottery?
I mean, I was surprised to see how far the Pacers fell. I definitely thought they were going to land top 4. At least I was hoping so. They deserve a top player in the draft. Having them at 6, it's like, that's tough. You know, who knows if they're going to get a great player there. I also, similar idea with the Trailblazers. I think if they would have got a top pick, that would have really helped transcend them. Instead, it's like, they're definitely trading that pick. There's just no chance they keep that.
Yeah. Do they attach it in a sign and trade with Nurkic for like what? Who's out there who would want Nurkic but give up a star? You got to think it's for a star, right?
Well, I think they definitely have their eyes on Jeremy Grant. For one, I think definitely they have their eyes on Zach LaVine.
That could happen. However, I don't know. Who do they have all on salary? Damian Lillard, and is that it? Who else has a big salary? Anthony doesn't yet. So maybe they could just like say, here's the 7th pick, give us they probably do have the flexibility if they don't sign Nurkic to get LaVine. That would really mess up our 4th topic, but that's certainly a possibility. I see that. And who wouldn't want to play next to Damian Lillard, one of the best teammates in the league?
I mean, to be honest, like, it doesn't seem like Damian Lillard really wants to be traded, like, especially after being injured all year. But we will talk about it later. But we've got another topic coming up about Damian Lillard. But in terms of the NBA draft lottery, I think I think just elated for the Magic and Thunder. Those are great picks for them. The Rockets have gotten fortunate to get another top 3 pick here. Curious to where things are going to end up there. This is a very obviously a top 3 draft, or like top 3 heavy draft in terms of Chad Holmgren, Paulo Banchero, and Jalen Smith. Right? That's Jabari.
Yeah.
Jabari
Jalen Smith, Jabari Smith Jr. Yeah, Jabari Smith Jr.
Jabari Smith, my bad. Those seem to be the top 3 guys, and I'd be surprised if the Magic don't end up going with Chet at number 1, just because they need a big anyways. It makes perfect sense. Yeah. He's a transcendent player. It looks like he seems kind of like an asshole, if I'm being real, but we'll see where that takes.
So let's jump into the Magic. I got some. So I'm not convinced they're going to take Chet. I think it's between Chet or Jabari. I don't think Banchero is at all who they want. I think they're moving towards more spreading across the floor, getting better shooters. Because they were 29th in offense last season, and that's really what they got to improve on. 19th in defense. All things considered, that team, the way it was, how young it was, the fact that they're 19th in defense, it was more of a bright spot for me. I mean, it sounds bad, but for a rebuilding team to be that high up on defense already, I'm okay with. But
I think that's probably a good sign for the coaching to get his players to that point already.
Yeah, I think Mosley did a great job. And usually defense is where the coach will shine, and that's where you'll see their improvement most. I mean, the coach can't make people hit those shots, but defense is more of a scheme and strategy, and you see that. And I think Jamal Mosley's really shown a great improvement on that side. But I think offense will be better this year because all they had was Cole last year. Suggs was his first year, and he was intermittent in and out. They got Fultz at the very end, and then Fultz was playing really well.
That's going to be huge to have Fultz back.
Yeah, after watching him, he should be the starting point guard. Honestly, I'll get to what I have their lineup as, but in 11 less minutes, Fultz averaged 0.2 less assists than Cole. Just they about had the same amount, and he had 11 less minutes. So I think the offense is going to go up. I never thought Cole was going to be a playmaker anyway. But so this leaves us into the last stat where I could talk about what we need more. So Franz shot league average. Their best shooters were Gary Harris and Mo Bamba. Gary Harris is probably gone. Mo Bamba, I can see them moving to the bench, if not moving on from it with a trade. Both of them shot 38%, which is surprising. So whomever they draft is going to essentially be their second option for scoring. So Chet, 14 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 60, 39, 72, 3.3 threes a game. So I think naturally, it really depends what they want to do with Wendell, because Wendell he will be their starter. He's either at power forward or center. He's proven that he improved throughout the year. He's definitely one of our young stars moving forward. I don't see us moving away from him for a while. And he's shown really great improvement on every end, shooting, defense. Finished the season as a 16-point per game scorer. And he's shown that he can play power forward or center. Slows down the lineup a lot when he's the power forward. So if they want to do that, and I know Chet is listed as a forward too, but he can definitely play center or forward in the same boat as Wendell. Personally, I think he would fit a lot well on any team because of his shooting ability and defense. So I think Chet could definitely be the guy they'd pick. It'll be a pretty big lineup, especially if you imagine they keep Franz Wagner, but then Jonathan Isaac, we'll see what he does if he plays at all this season. I don't really count him ever anymore. But
yeah,
Jabari Smith,
I mean, you used to love Jonathan Isaac so much, but yeah, I think his time as a Magic player is probably over if they can get any reasonable trade offer this offseason.
Especially seeing the Franz for all rookie first team did great.
All rookie first team is awesome.
And whomever we draft, we're not drafting another guard. So whomever we draft, you got to think is going to be there for a while. It's just number 1 overall pick. They're going to be in that lineup. But I've actually really been impressed by Jabari Smith Jr. 17 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 42, 42, 80. So, I mean, it's supposed to be 42, 42, 80, 5.5 threes a game. He's taking.
Damn.
Not
That's
made.
crazy.
Not made, but taken 5.5. So like
Yeah,
that's
no,
kind of
that's still solid.
yeah. From everything I went over, honestly, I think that would fit the Magic best. And I know you want to pick the best available, but I think him and Chet are actually really close in skill and what they can do. And Jabari's a big jump shooter. And I think at the very least, Tobias Harris, I know I already mentioned him, but very least, if he comes out performing like that, that's great. TJ Warren type. I certainly think he has better potential to be better on defense than both of them right out of the gate. But I think
Jabari Smith might be the best available if that's what the Magic scouting department decides too. Like, you can convince yourself into taking that pick. I don't think there's anything wrong with going Jabari Smith over Chet Holmgren if you are the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, I think he would fit. I think that's what they need, and in my opinion, is to speed up their offense a little more. And keeping Wendell at the 4 does slow it down. So I'm okay with moving him back to the center and having a starting lineup of, for me, I have Fultz, Suggs, Wagner, Smith, Jabari Smith Jr., and Wendell Carter Jr. I do think Cole will excel and has excelled off the bench. I think he could certainly be that J-Cap role, that 6th man of the year. And I think Jabari would fit in perfectly, and Fultz would love all shooters next to Fultz. I mean, Suggs struggled a bit, but he's shown when he gets consistent minutes, he can actually shoot decent from 3. But he's great defensive guard.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of negativity around Suggs right now, but totally have the expectation that he's going to improve next year, and he has that shooting ability. I have no doubt that he'll figure it out. So hopefully, he has a great off season and it turns into a great second year.
Oh yeah. If I was a betting man, I would say the Magic just pick up Chet. Because they're going to pick up Chet for Suggs because they want both of them to stay there as long as possible. So
it just feels like the no-brainer move right now. Like, Suggs will be in their ear like, you got to take Chet. Or unless, I don't know, if he doesn't like Chet, we don't know that. He could be also telling them, please don't take Chet.
He's like, I don't want to play with that fucker anymore. Yeah, I mean
could totally be up to Suggs.
Yeah, they're like, what do you think, Suggs? Jabari or Chet? He's like, Jabari's a pretty good jump shooter. He's like, I like his talent. I can throw lobs too.
They're just like, what?
Plus, like, Franz Wagner is the first white guy that they've drafted that has worked out. I still get Mario Hezonja vibes every time I look. I think of them drafting one of those. So let's just stick with Jabari.
Hey, but Chet is from Minnesota, so he's not European. It's a little different.
You're right.
This is the new thing, and he's very skinny, so he's more like the Andre Bergnani.
Perfect. Wow, even better.
Yes.
But I at least Mario Hezonja hates the NBA because he said that he was misused. Like, shut up, bro. You were trash. 3 points a game.
Yeah, he had plenty of teams to prove it on too.
He had plenty of time on the Magic, and then the Trailblazers used him a lot.
Right. I mean, he had plenty of opportunity. So, sorry. Like, I think what he probably means is more like, hey, I'm really good in Europe, but I'm not good here. And that's what works out for a lot of those guys because the game is played so differently over there than it is here. That's why they don't figure it out as much. But some guys who just have enough skill, they can figure it out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. But we'll see how they do. I got a question. Which of the bottom teams of the 10 could do something like the Cavs did this last year? An example. So, like, who do you think could make the play-in? I mean, we're not going to go extreme and be like one person's going to make them make the playoffs. But are any teams jumping out where you're like, they might be really good next year? Like, surprise some people.
Well, I believe the Portland Trailblazers were in the bottom 10, correct?
Yep.
So, I mean, that would be my initial pick, just looking at Damian Lillard coming back fully healthy and them having a top 10 pick that they can either pick a player with or more likely they're going to use to trade to bring some other star in or star-like player. And I really like Anthony Simons. What we saw from him this year, I think really encouraging. Feels like they don't really lose a beat when getting rid of CJ McCollum. In fact, they won more games after getting rid of him. And it was plenty of time for a shakeup, obviously. What I'm really curious about is just what they're going to have at like that power forward position. Like, do they get a guy like, I don't know, a guy like Julius Randle, or do they get a guy like Jerian Grant and, more of your 3 to 4 combo? I think what we've seen in the playoffs so far is that you do not necessarily need a great big man. A lot of teams are playing small ball and they're doing plenty great. Who's Dwight Powell for the Dallas Mavericks? He's the tallest player starting in the lineup out of all 4 teams in the playoffs right now.
And he only plays 10 minutes a game because of how fast and small they play now.
Yeah, so he's a quote unquote starter just to get them the tip.
Yeah, pretty much.
But like Maxi Kleber plays a bunch more.
Yeah, he's been playing their center
because he can shoot. And
him and Bertans.
Yep,
which are like virtually the same people, same skill set.
Plenty tall, but doesn't play much defense. I guess he's figured it out.
Neither one does. Maxi Kleber at least tries, I guess.
Yeah, I like Kleber. But yeah, the Portland Trailblazers, anyways, I definitely think they're going to make a splash in either free agency or the trade market this offseason. And, assuming they keep Damian Lillard in that instance. So that would be my team.
Yeah, I thought about those teams. So like them, the Kings, and the Lakers certainly have all the stars to make a play-in entrance. And of course, the Pelicans weren't bottom 10, but all of them. But when I think of a young team that could make it, I look at the Pacers. I really have a lot of faith in Tyrese Halliburton. He's already an elite playmaker. It's just he has to get more aggressive with scoring, find his own shots. I think they have a lot of rotation players as is. Isaiah Jackson, O'Shea Brissett have really come out. Hield is a great rotation player on any team because of how good of shooting he is. So they still have Brogdon and Turner. No matter what they get from them, they're going to get some sort of value back, or if they keep them, they could certainly. And whomever they draft at the 6th pick, there's Johnny Davis. If they want to put a scoring guard next to them, or they can get a guy like Jalen Duran and definitely go out and trade Turner and get somebody who could win now. Or they could just draft a guy like Keegan Murray for just some extra defense in there next to Miles Turner. So they have a lot of options. So I think we're going to be surprised on what they do throughout the season up until the trade deadline, but I think they could make some waves, or at least start off really hot in this league.
Yeah, I think they need to make a move or two this offseason. I definitely expect them to keep the pick. They made a great pick this last season with Chris Duarte, so we'll see some more growth out of him this year. I think alongside Miles Turner in an expanded role, hopefully for himself, now that Sabonis isn't there.
Yeah.
And Tyrese Halliburton, like we saw even just when he went to Indiana, the increase in his role and his stats and efficiency from that just already. So excited to see year 3. Crazy to think it's only been 2 years of Tyrese Halliburton. This guy is going to be fucking excellent. I tell you what.
Oh yeah, definitely. All of them, I'm super excited. I forgot all about Chris Duarte. Had a great scoring season. He played some decent defense for a rookie. And obviously O'Shea Brissett and Isaiah Jackson. They have a nice young core. Whomever they draft should add to it. I do think, a wing wouldn't be bad to pick up.
I think they could use a scorer, after they got rid of Karis LeVert. And we'll see what they do with Malcolm Brogdon. But regardless,
I think he's definitely gone.
He's not going to be around forever. So I think you got to have somebody who can step in. If it's not this year, in a year or two. Yeah.
I think AJ Griffin would be a really nice wing for them to add some 3-point shooting on the wing from Duke. I think he could be really good. But yeah, I think Brogdon's definitely gone. And we can do another video on our next few episodes on some trade targets for Brogdon and where he might go. Because I think he's definitely gone now that Halliburton's gone. Halliburton's here. I don't think he fits this team anymore, nor the timeline. Yeah. And they could definitely get stuff back for him. He's certainly a valuable player. And he could be a point guard or shooting guard on any playoff team, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity to trade him. They'll definitely get something worthwhile back. So they're in a position where they need to just rebuild a little bit. I don't know if Rick Carlisle likes being a part of a rebuild. Maybe he just, I think he might have family in Indiana. I'm not totally sure. But I don't know. Best of luck with that.
Yeah, I think he could do a lot with Tyrese Halliburton. He was a huge part of developing Luka into the NBA. So I think that's only helping them.
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt. I think Rick Carlisle is a fantastic coach on paper from what we've seen. So really curious to see how this Indiana Pacers team grows.
Certainly. So speaking of Bucks, nobody's talking about the Bucks. Let's go over to the trades. So first off, we were talking about Damian Lillard was asked what star he would want to play with, and he said Giannis. Instantly, all of us are overreacting. Yeah. We're like, is Dame going to the Bucks?
Dame's going to the Bucks. Dame to the Bucks confirmed.
If you were a betting man, how much money would you put on him not leaving the Trailblazers this year?
Well, I am a betting man, and I would put $100 on it.
Just 100? All right. Yeah, I don't think he's leaving either. It's a dream. It's been my dream ever since they even he even said anything. Like, he sent out a tweet like 2 years ago. Ever since then, I'm like, Damian Lillard to the Bucks? Because I've been like, it's been my dream. Him next to Giannis is Shaq and Kobe.
Be crazy.
Yeah. That's so perfect. Cool. But so let's jump in. I have a trade. We'll talk about whether it's likely they do this. And I should have made 2 trades. I do think that it's Chris Middleton that has to be in the trade and not Drew Holiday. I think he would obviously give them the more value. I think the Trailblazers would rather have a nice all-around wing like Chris Middleton than an aging shooting guard. Also, I think Drew Holiday would play great next to Damian Lillard. I mean, Damian Lillard already has so much respect for Drew. Says he's the best defensive player in the league. So I think this is going to be the best trade for them. So Bucks just get Damian Lillard. Trailblazers give up Middleton, Grayson Allen, Jordan Norwa, assuming he gets signed back. He's a restricted free agent this season. And then 2024 second, 2025 second, and a top 5 protected 2028 first round pick. Yeah,
I mean, if Lillard ends up requesting out at some point this offseason, I don't see how you could get a better trade offer than that one.
Yeah. I mean, looking at it, you get an all-star back. Usually you don't even get an all-star back in these trades. You get an all-star back in Chris Middleton, who does fit your timeline or what you're trying to do. Like, by then, Anthony Simons is ready to step up.
He's under 30. Like, why not?
Yeah. And Grayson Allen, I would play great next to Anthony. He's a nice catch and shoot guy. He's an effort guy, not the smartest defensive player, but I think he can get there, especially under Chauncey Billups. And you get a nice shooter in Jordan Norwa, a young shooter, which let me say. So I think that's a decent pick. And then you only get 1 first round pick, but that's like virtually all they can afford.
Yeah, I mean, I think getting Middleton back in itself is a great enough prize. I don't see how they could get a better player from anyone else in trading Lillard.
Yeah. Off the top of my head, I mean, like, obviously Russell Westbrook is worse than Middleton. I don't know whether a team are willing to give up. I mean, I think if Damian
Lillard like if the Heat were willing to give up Bam, but I don't know why they would be willing to do that.
Yeah, I can see them giving up, like, they're like, hey, take Kyle Lowry's contract and Tyler Herro and maybe like someone else. And I think I guess it depends what they're gonna want by the time they decide to trade him. Like, do we want to stay competitive? You have to assume so by then. Like, if it's a year or 2 from now, they'd probably be bad if they're going to trade Damian Lillard.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be terrible the second they trade him. But it depends on, like, what are you going to get, a better young player or like one with better potential than Middleton? Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, who? We just don't know the landscape of the NBA, what it's going to look like. I mean, well, I guess if it's this offseason, like, who's got the best prospect on a team that they'd be willing to trade? Because, like, usually the good prospects are on, the bad teams, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, let me think. I mean, the Denver Nuggets might be able to put together a package with, like, Jamal Murray if they want to move away from him. They might be able to put together a decent package. I think Damian Lillard would like to go there. I do see him going to a
I
small
definitely
market again,
think the
just with one other
Blazers
star.
would prefer not to trade him in
Same
conference.
Yeah, I suppose so. But let's talk about on the Bucks side. So say this happens at the trade deadline, this next trade deadline. Damian Lillard gets traded to the Bucks. Are they winning? Assuming they're all fully healthy, they're winning.
They win the ship,
right?
yeah. That would be my pick. If assuming like Lillard looks like old Lillard, Giannis is great. Like, I mean, that would be my lock for sure.
I think it would be crazy. So like, obviously they'd have to fill another wing, which I think certainly you can. There's enough veteran wings out there that you could pick up. Certainly if they can pick up Thad Young, I think that'd be fine. But I think he would, Damian Lillard specifically, more than Middleton. Not that Middleton's a bad shooter, but Damian Lillard would open up the floor so much more for Giannis. I think that would be crazy because you have to guard him 35 feet out. And in the playoffs, you know there has to be a double waiting. So the floor is going to, you at least have 2 or 3 defenders on, like, not leaking out into the paint. You'll have them right out there. So it opens up lanes for Giannis, that ball action. Plus, you get another elite playmaker next to Drew Holiday. And Drew Holiday can, well, it'll take less offensive pressure off of him. And he'll just be able to be like, just go defend. Be the best, be the second best defender on this team. Go ahead. And he will. And I mean, like, Drew Holiday is Damian Lillard's only weakness because he stopped him in that Pelican series. So,
yeah, I mean, I think like it would be must-watch TV every game. Like, this would just be an incredible star to add to their squad. They gave up so much to get Drew Holiday. Like, to get another star player after doing that trade would just be crazy to me. But obviously, Middleton is still a big trade piece for them.
Oh yeah, and be as it may, I still think the Bucks are contending for a championship next year when they're all fully healthy.
Yeah, regardless, yeah, I think like they could easily win the championship next year without making any trades.
But so Damian Lillard, if he goes there, how many championships do they win? Do you see another team beating them?
Well, hopefully they could get one.
I think they get.
I don't know.
Minimum
I don't know about
2.
That's silly to say minimum 2. I mean, Damian Lillard's like 34 or like 33 or something.
Yeah, he's like 30. Hold on. Yeah, but I mean, Drew Holiday is older too. But that's why I say I think they would win back to back if he went there. I don't see another team.
I don't think you can just guarantee that, but I think it would be sick. I think like there's a lot that can happen in a season, and they would definitely have the best roster in the NBA if they did that. But
he's 30.
I'm not going to guarantee 2 championships.
No, I'm not. Nobody's guaranteed. Nobody can guarantee a championship.
I do say.
I'm saying if they're going to at least win one. I mean, we're not even. He's not even going to
at least 2.
Yeah, at least 2. So obviously that's assume. You can't assume like somebody's just going to get injured. So that's assuming everyone's fully healthy. I don't see another team that.
I'm not assuming somebody's going to get injured. I'm assuming just like other teams are going to try and get better too. Like, and we have no idea if the fit's going to be that great.
I'm not too. I think the fit.
We'll see.
I don't see too much wrong with what would go wrong with the fit because Drew Holiday has played off ball. That's the only thing I see is the guard tandem, but I think that would work out. And as the NBA stands today, from what I can judge off it, I can't judge off if the Mavericks pull in another star. But if Damian Lillard were to go there with the NBA today, I think they would win 2 championships at least.
We'll see.
Yeah, but he's 31 too, so they'd have a decent amount of
31.
Years. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean he's probably got like, I don't know, 3 or 4 great years left in him. Hopefully.
Yeah, I'd say that.
We'll see after that.
I think he could play. He's probably gonna play until like 37, 38.
Yeah, we'll see.
He's had injury history.
Father time will catch up with him. Yeah, his knees probably aren't the best, but that's how it goes with the guards. They start getting hurt.
Right.
Ankles, bum ankles. But hopefully, regardless of what he chooses to do, if it's to stay in Portland or to go Milwaukee, hopefully he has a healthy rest of his career and that he wins a championship at some point because he's a player that deserves one in my mind.
Oh yeah, definitely. Him, CP3. I do. All things considered,
Wrong,
I know people are shitting on him. I think he should get one.
Incorrect. That's not true. CP3 sucks.
And Melo. I do think Melo deserves one.
Oh yeah, I like Melo. I thought at first you meant LaMelo Ball. I was what? But yeah, no, Carmelo definitely. But he went to the Lakers, so no.
Well, it was only a 1-year deal. Maybe he'll go somewhere decent. Maybe he'll go to the Bucks. No way. He's not going anywhere that's winner. He's gonna go somewhere he wants to live.
He's gonna go somewhere winning. Hopefully. I mean, he was in Portland last time.
I guess that's a nice
place too. Yeah, I mean, Heat are a contender. He could go to Brooklyn.
He could go to Brooklyn, but that wouldn't help with their defensive situation at all.
Nah.
Would help with shooting, I guess, but whatever. They have enough shooting, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. There's plenty of dominoes to fall in this offseason, just like there always is. The NBA offseason sometimes is more entertaining than the actual season. No, I'm just kidding. But in its own way, it is like the drama and the players changing teams and all the behind the scenes stuff coming out. It's all great. I love it. It's just drama all the time.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I think that's all we got, huh?
That's all we got. It's all strictly ball business today.
All right. Well, if you're still listening here, subscribe to us, whatever you're on, and we'll see you soon. That's strictly ball business. So I don't remember what episode that was.
This is 39. Next episode is episode 40.
Midlife crisis time. We were on episode 39 today. So we hope to see you next time for episode 40. Thanks.
Hey guys, be sure to like and subscribe us. We're strictly ball business. We strictly talk NBA. We love it. You love it. So let's get above it.